I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The minutes of February 23rd, 2016.
Mr. Chair, I will move the minutes from last week.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Houston, second by Commissioner Wright. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, you just got to make sure, is that including the minutes, where we talked about the feedlot?
Well, those minutes kind of are now encompassed in these minutes. Was something not right there?
Yeah, I have a few changes, so. On page 4 of 7, you can find that.
I know there was a name corrected last week.
Right, those
Leander,
are-
and that got done.
Those are listed.
Yeah, I didn't read these over well enough till today, but, okay, so on the, let me see, I'll just count the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, on the 14th line down, actually 13 and 14, but it starts off, says, Burrell felt the problem is in the interpretation. If there are only a small area that does not have grass, it is called a feedlot, and I think it should be clarified in Wright County. I don't know if that's, because, whatever, but that's...
Well, I think we're talking about Wright County, so...
Okay, that's fine, we can leave that. Then on the next line down, then noting that as long as, and I want to insert some vegetation is maintained, it is allowed. Because we're talking about having a complete mud feedlot versus having some vegetation out and some of it trampled down, so I think it should say some in there. And then the very end of that paragraph, 3 lines up or 4, where it says Riley stated the difference might be the minimum acres. Wright County has 4 acres. It is based on animal units, and a horse is 2 acres.
Yeah, it should be 2 animal.
Yeah,
That's not right, though.
I'm just wondering if...
Is a horse 2 animal units? Is that what a horse is? A horse is only 1 animal unit.
Yeah.
But it's based on animal units, and a horse is 2 acres, and with 4 acres, you could have 2 horses.
Maybe you should just say it's based on animal units. With 4 acres, you could have 2 horses.
If that's right, I'm not actually positive of that. So Sean's not here.
Is that right, or can you only have 1 horse with 4 acres?
Well, based on our requirements, you have to have 4 acres to be able to do anything.
Right now, yeah.
Or can you have 1 horse or 2 horses with 4 acres, do you know?
1 animal unit is a horse, so.
Yeah, you think you just have 1 with 4?
I'm not sure. I'm wondering if we shouldn't maybe...
Just strike it?
Just strike that.
Strike that sentence?
Where it says Riley stated the difference, I think so. And then, the next paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 lines down, 8 or 9, whatever, it kind of bleeds over. It starts on the far right-hand side. Riley state rules say no new feedlots in Shoreline District, and I'm not sure that's accurate. From what Mark and I were at that last meeting, you could have I know you can have animals within the Shoreline District, but maybe not a feedlot.
You can't have a feedlot.
Right.
But I thought she said you could.
So Mr. Chair, there's another sentence here that I think should make headlines with the newspaper.
What's that?
Burrell felt the property with chickens should be sent to the state for determination.
The picture, you mean?
It doesn't say that.
Well, you know, and the reason I did that, Commissioner Potter, that I kept being told that one chicken was a feedlot, so I found one on the internet, and I gave it to Sean, and I said, send that down there, I want to know who at the state is going to call that a feedlot, and basically Sean conceded that they would not call it a feedlot. Well, then that changes what they're saying here, so.
Well, that sentence should almost be removed too, because that creates a whole lot of confusion.
It does.
If someone reads this in the future, it's like, what is he talking about, the property with chickens?
Yeah.
You know?
So, I think just from where...
Maybe we should cross that one up, and Charlie, the property with chickens should be sent, because That's going to be too confusing to people in the future that. What is he talking about?
I'm not sure where Mike read that, but if you want to take that up too.
I mean, just from, maybe we should cross that one up and Charlie, the alpha, the proper chicken should be sent because
Or where it says.
that's going to be too confusing to people in the future. What is he talking about? He's talking about
Sure where Mike read that, take that up.
It's kind of-
I mean, just from, maybe we should cross that one up and Charlie, the alpha, the proper.
And then
Make a
I'm,
good headline, though.
I'm just wondering if we shouldn't strike where it says Riley, state rules say no new feedlot in shoreline district. I'm not sure that's accurate. Because we talked about calling them a feedlot and and having them in the thing, Mark. That was the thing. We'd either exempt.
Yeah, but
pastures-
that was afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
This is what was talked about at this meeting here.
And I think and I can believe that he stated that. The question is, we don't necessarily think that 700 feet from a lake is a feedlot.
Okay, so at the end of that paragraph, let me see, about 4 lines up, it said, "The state did not change the rules, but in a letter said the county can allow less than 10 animal units in a shoreline district."
Yeah.
See, it gets confusing here, so then they're just not going to call it a feedlot then?
That's what I would say. Or it's exempt from the feedlot rules.
Okay, all right.
Even though if it is a feedlot, it's exempt from feedlot rules.
Okay, and,
Well, what letter are we talking about?
There was a letter that Tracy got about a few months back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they
She
are
had
looking at
referenced.
this. But, anyway, that's it. It's a tough thing to cover, I have to
Okay.
admit that. And I don't know if it's gonna read good to somebody in the future or not, but,
But we added the word "some" in front of vegetation, and we struck 2 sentences that maybe were a little unclear.
but I think what we did learn at that meeting is that Wright County does have some restrictions that go beyond what the state law, mandates. And that's,
Or at least beyond how the state is now
interpreting.
interpreting it. And at
Yes.
one time, maybe they did interpret it that way, but maybe have changed their interpretation. Would you agree with that, perhaps?
Yeah. So anyway, with that, I guess with the motion's already made, so.
Okay, so does the motion maker and second agree with striking of 2 sentences and adding the word "some"?
Yes.
You guys got it?
And Mr. Chair, it might be wise, since we did approve these minutes from the committee of the whole last week, it might be good to reapprove those minutes specifically and then do the entire minutes for the board. I realize we do have a motion and a second open right
Yeah,
now.
how about a withdrawal of the motion then?
Okay.
Motion maker and
I'll
second
second,
withdrawal. Okay, is there a motion to amend the minutes of the committee of the whole regarding feedlots?
I will make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion by Houston, second by Deline to amend as noted here. Susan, do you have each of those sentences, or you want me to, okay? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Is there a motion to approve the minutes now with the amended language?
I'll make that motion.
This would be the minutes of the 23rd County Board meeting. Motion by Deline, second by Morale. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. The agenda for today. I've got, I guess what I'll call an amendment to the agenda. If you look at tying agenda items V and then B, review and approve owners committee, it says of the whole minutes. Those were really just review and approve owners committee, so we should strike of the whole.
Where's that at?
And Mr. Chair, they're actually listed as owners of the whole.
They're wrong. And then you guys are absent,
And then
you're
we're
not.
absent,
Yeah,
we're not.
that's exactly right. I was gonna bring that up too.
Yep,
When we get to the,
Thank you, I was going to bring that up also.
when we get to the minutes, we can correct the fact that they weren't of the whole and that you
You
three
weren't
weren't
absent,
absent.
right.
I was absent at one, but you three were not absent at any of them. Okay, so that would be B, eliminating of the whole from the agenda. Anybody else have anything to add or amend?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Motion by Deliden, second by Potter. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. The consent agenda, anything to remove for further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Potter, second by Commissioner Deliden. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Thanks, Bob. Brian Osleson, Chief Deputy Attorney, good morning.
Good morning. So used to having Bob up here first, I kind of like this, getting up here early. I'm here for the purpose of asking approval to retain Paul Bakken for 2 tax court matters that are pending. Both of these are have trial-ready dates in July of this year, and I think as I've explained in some of my previous appearances for this purpose, the tax court has changed the way they handle these cases, and they're kind of handling them in bunches, if you will. And we have a number of cases, Wright County have a number of cases that are scheduled for trial readiness, at least, in June and July of this year. And they've set earlier dates for notifying the other party of the expert witnesses that you might use. So Mr. Bakken has, we've used him at least twice previously with great success. And these 2 properties, one in Otsego and one in Monticello, are both motel or hotel properties. And in the appraisal industry, a lot of the commercial appraisers do have expertise in kind of niche areas, and this is one that Mr. Bakken has done a lot of work in. So we're here to answer any questions the board might have.
Mr. Chair. Charlie? Brian, and this might be a question more for Tony. We've done this in the past where we retain an attorney for appraisal. Do they go in and just look at it, the property, or do they look at, to back up what we're saying? Or do they come in and look at it? Because I don't think we should just be hiring a big-time attorney to support what we have just to win. I mean, I want fairness, so I would rather see them go in and just from scratch do an appraisal and then come back and say what the county said, what we said, and if they match up, fine, then we're supported. But if he came in and said, he's $100,000 less, then maybe we might relook at our numbers. Does he do that from a fresh look? I guess that's
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Burrell, that's a good question. The assessor's value, the value that Tony's office comes up with, is what's called prima facie valid, meaning
first glance.
if the other party doesn't present any evidence, their number is good.
Okay.
But we're not able to stand on that in tax court. We have to have an independent appraisal done, and what we normally do is we schedule a time for Mr. Bakken to go out to the property. He takes photos, he measures, he basically then looks for comparable sales, things like that. In some cases, they may do an income approach. Certainly with these hotel properties, they would do an income approach, look at the business, how it's been doing, that type of thing. And then they come up with a value. Some cases, if it is lower than what Tony's office might have on it, that causes us to step back and say, we may need to negotiate this case and have a slight reduction in value. So
okay.
We can go either way.
If the attorney here, whatever the appraiser came in at or higher than what we had, then we would feel it'd be a defendable position that we have.
Correct.
But it is a fresh look that he looks at.
Correct.
Okay, that's good. I'm fine with that then, so. Anyone else have anything? Otherwise, I'll make a motion to.
Okay, go ahead and go for it, Charlie.
I'll make a motion to retain Paul Bakken to perform an appraisal of the bank property in Otsego pending a court case.
I'll second
Actually,
that.
2 properties.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Two properties in that
One in
bank.
Monticello also.
Okay, so two properties.
You said bank, they're hotels.
Okay.
So 2 properties, motels.
Oh, bank.
Any further discussion?
Okay.
Next time, we'll let someone else make the motion.
Okay.
One in Monticello also.
Okay, so two properties.
You said bank, they're motels.
Any further discussion?
Okay.
All in favor, say aye. So 2 properties, motels.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on this?
Brian, thank you.
Next time, we'll let someone else make the motion. One in Monticello also.
You said bank.
I will do it. Good morning.
Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye. So 2 properties, motels. Any further discussion on this?
Brian, thank you.
Next time, we'll let someone else make the motion. One in Monticello also.
You said bank.
I will do it. Good morning. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye. 2 properties, motels. Any further discussion on this? Brian, thank you. Next time, we'll let someone else make the motion. One in Monticello also.
You said bank.
I will do it. Good morning. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye. 2 properties, motels. Any further discussion on this? Brian, thank you. Next time, we'll let someone else make the motion. One in Monticello also. I will do it. Good morning. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
here.
Oh,
But we
okay.
just want to get the correct information.
Well, okay, so, I guess I hadn't seen